Look, you bought the basic challenge on Upscale. Your first trade is up 2%, the second one's already down 1%, and the third is down another 0.5%. And now you're sitting there thinking, maybe I should have picked a different one? I probably would have passed faster over there. And this is the moment where I want you to stop. Let me explain why the basic two-phase challenge is the only reasonable choice for getting started, and why people who call it too slow just don't understand the math behind prop trading. Do you know what question I get asked the most? Which challenge should a beginner choose? And everyone expects me to start comparing different types. But no, today I'm not going to compare anything. I'm just going to tell you about the most popular basic challenge, as if you are that very beginner trader who just bought it. And together, we'll go through the entire journey, from demo trading all the way to that very payout everyone wants so much. First, let me show you the technical pitfalls you're bound to fall into, and the psychological traps that are unique to the basic challenge. And I'll explain why the word basic here doesn't mean simple, but rather fundamental. What is the basic challenge and what are its conditions? The basic challenge is a two-stage test of your skills. Let's go through it step by step. In the first stage, your profit target is set at 5%. The maximum drawdown can't exceed 10%, and the daily drawdown limit is 5%. At the same time, you need to have at least 3 profitable trading days. In the second stage, your target is already 8%. The limits stay the same, 10% maximum drawdown, 5% daily drawdown. And you still need at least 3 profitable trading days. As soon as you meet all these conditions, you'll be able to get a funded account, or as we call it, a funded, with the exact same rules. And this is where your profit split starts, 80-20, with 80% of course going to you. And the basics are like chess. Here, you don't need speed, you need precision. Now, let's use some logic together. Let's imagine you're a beginner, and your main problem, honestly, isn't how fast you complete the challenge. Your problem is that you're not used to trading without pressure, while still staying within the system's rules. The basic challenge gives you time and space to make mistakes. Now, let's take a look at the math together. You have a goal of 5% for the first stage. That means you need to average about 1 to 1.5% per week. And that's actually pretty realistic and doesn't require any kind of heroics. The limits are 10 and 5%. All this means is that you have a certain margin for error. You can make mistakes, you can hit a couple of stop losses in a row, but still not get knocked out. And now you have 2 stages instead of 1. And do you know why that's necessary? So you can learn to cross that very psychological barrier. Most beginners fail the challenge not because they don't know how to trade, but because they don't know when to stop. In the first stage, you learn how to make money. And in the second stage, you'll learn how to keep making money after you've already made some. And those are completely different skills. Alright, you've bought the basic challenge. Let's say you've already opened the terminal and started trading. Where are you going to stumble? The first mistake is that you'll be waiting for that green check mark in the terminal. You have 3 open positions, and together with your deposit, they show $104,500. You're just a little bit away from your goal, only about 5% more to go. And you just sit there and wait. You wait for that very green check mark, the notification that you've passed the stage. But what counts for passing is your balance, not your deposit with unrealized profit. As long as the position is open, you could say it's just virtual money. It's like it doesn't even exist yet. You're still holding those same positions. And then the market was moving your way, but suddenly it turned around sharply. Your deposit, along with your profit, literally evaporates in a matter of minutes. You close absolutely all your orders, all your trades in a panic. And instead of 5%, if you're lucky, you might make just 1 or 0.2%. The second mistake you're most likely to run into is the 5% daily limit. And this isn't about being able to lose 5% a day several days in a row. This means that if you lose 5% in one day, that's it. You're out. You won't get another chance tomorrow or even in 3 days. Today, your account is already closed. Now imagine you decided to open a trade right before some news comes out, and then slippage happens. your stop loss gets triggered wider than you planned. And as a result, you take a minus 5.2% loss in just 5 seconds. And that's it. Your challenge is burned, gone, call it whatever you want. Yeah, most likely you'll think that 5% of a large capital is a lot, but just one day of greed or losing control of your emotions, and that's it. Your challenge goes up in smoke just the same. And that's when you'll run into the third mistake, which is the minimum of 3 trading days. You think, well, that's super easy. I'll just avoid scalping 5% in one day. But then you rack up 4.5% in 2 days, and in your head you're like, okay, I've got 0.5% left, and that's it. My challenge will be done. I'll just grab it real quick now. So on the third day, you start opening trades, not according to your trading strategy, but just to hit that coveted number. And in the end, you just end up blowing it all. Now, let's talk about something nobody ever mentions. The psychological traps that are unique to the basic challenge. The very first trap is the feeling that I'm moving toward my goal way too slowly. You're in your third week, up 3% in the first stage, and you've already made it more than halfway. But then you see people in the chat saying, bro, I finished the basic challenge in just 5 days. What's taking you so long? And that's when you start rushing. You start increasing your position size, taking questionable setups, and end up losing in 2 days what you spent 3 weeks earning. At this moment, remember, the basic 2-phase challenge isn't a race. It's a test of patience. The second trap you'll face is the false sense of security in the second stage. You've passed the first stage and you've already got 5% in your pocket. Nice job. Respect, likes, comments, whatever you want. By the way, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Now you start in the second stage. Now you need to reach 8%. And this is where the psychology in your head starts to play a cruel trick on you. Now I have experience. I passed the first stage, so the second one should be even easier. And you start trading more boldly. You increase your position size. You start entering riskier setups because now you think you can use the full 10% drawdown from scratch. But that's not true. The second stage is harder than the first, not because of the 8% target, but because you already have a taste of victory. That's exactly what brings you down. So how do you properly pass the basic challenge? Now we're going to get into specifics. How can a beginner pass the basic challenge without blowing up? The first step you need to take is to forget about deadlines. You don't have to complete the challenge in a week or even in a month. The basic challenge doesn't have any time limits. Take 2 months if you need to. The main thing is that you pass it. For the second step, you shouldn't aim for the overall 5% goal right away, but instead, for example, aim for 1% per week. If you consistently make a 1% gain each week, you'll finish the first stage in 5 weeks. And that's perfectly fine. It's a pretty stable approach. Don't chase after the full 5% all at once. Focus on being consistent instead. For the third step, I suggest you spend the first 5 days just getting used to things. Don't try to make money right away. For the first 5 days, trade with the smallest position size possible. Just get comfortable with the platform, the limits and rules we have, and your own feelings. And even if you end up down by 0.5% or even 1%, that's totally fine. Think of it as paying for your education. For the fourth step, I recommend keeping a trading journal. After each trading day, write down what you did, why you did it, and how you felt at the time. Step 5, during the second stage, don't increase your risk per trade. Yes, now your goal is 8%, but that doesn't mean you need to trade more aggressively. Just trade for a longer period, still aiming for 1% per week. After 8 weeks, you'll have your 8%. Don't change your strategy, don't change your position size. Just keep doing what worked for you in the first stage. Now, let's sum things up. The basic Upscale challenge isn't an easy option for the faint of heart. It's the foundation. The 2 stages teach you not just how to make money, but how to earn it consistently. The 10 and 5% limits give you room for mistakes and learning. If you're a beginner, I suggest you start with a demo account on our platform, which you can access through the link in the description. It's completely free and doesn't require any investment from you, except your own time. You'll be able to go through it, get a feel for prop trading, and once you realize it's right for you, you can move on to purchasing the actual basic challenge. You'll also find a promo code there for buying the basic Upscale challenge. And in the next video, I'll break down the accelerated challenge and explain what makes it unique. Subscribe to the Upscale channel so you don't miss out on the most valuable insights from the world of prop trading. As always, this was your Fox the King. See you at the top.